Yo, what up everybody? My name is Ty Stevenson. I'm the Waters Brewer, and today I'm brewing experiment number 17 in the Waters Brewer study. And what that is, it's basically 30 batches of the same recipe, the same process, and the only difference from batch to batch is the water chemistry. And so for this experiment, I am doing 30 grams of fucking, get the fuck out of here, fly. 30 grams of gypsum, which is the most I've ever done. The most I've done before this was 22 and a half. And what I expect from this amount of gypsum is super crazy amount of dryness and a super crazy amount of mouthfeel that turns out to be dryness. So I got 3.5 gallons of RO water in here right now. I got my minerals already weighed out, 30 grams of gypsum, 1.5 grams of calcium chloride, 2 grams of Epsom salt, and like 3 grams of baking soda. And yeah, that's gonna be, all that mineral is gonna be added to this water right now. Let's go ahead and do it. So you can see, boom, fucking all white, baby. Get my thermometer out. So what gypsum does to the beer, it makes it a lot more hazy. Like if I were to bring it over here right now, it looks like a cloud of smoke just went in my clear water. It looks bad, but makes the beer dry, it makes the beer more bitter. Stir it up some. If you guys have any questions throughout the whole time, feel free to ask me. But I'm heating up my strike water right now. And we're about at 150, so I need to get that to 172. The malt I'm going to be using is 7.5 pounds organic 2-row, 1 pound caramel 20, half pound carapils, and then the hops I use are Nugget, Chinook, and Cascade. And then the yeast I use is American L yeast 2 from Y Yeast, W Yeast Snack Pack. Which reminds me I need to go snack my pack. Yeah, 3.5 gallons. My sparge water is going to be 3 gallons, and I probably won't add any minerals to that. And then I got my mash tun all ready to go. I got enough propane. Yeah, I'm ready for a good brew day. Batch number 17. Some of the other ones I've done things like all rainwater, all hose water, all sink water, excessive amounts of baking soda, Epsom salt, gypsum, calcium chloride. I've done perfect batches, what I think should be the optimal amounts of minerals for an IPA. That's what this experiment is. It's a not very hoppy IPA, not very bitter IPA. If I can go back in time, I probably would change up the recipe a little bit, but when I started this Waters Brewer experiment study, I chose this recipe and now I'm sticking with it. So after this batch I got 13 more to brew, and then at that point I'm going to be releasing a book about everything I've learned about water chemistry over the last year throughout my studies. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We're almost there, we're at 165. I'm going to tune over to my Waters Brewer page on Facebook and go live on there for the mash-in. So if you want to check it out, feel free to head over there. Once again, my name is Ty Stevenson. I am the Waters Brewer, and this is number 17 in the Waters Brewer study. We're at 172, perfect. So let's go ahead and kill this. Flame off. I'll remove the thermometer with saying 172 exactly. I'll just put that right there for now. Here. Alright, let's go ahead and do the mash. Let me get rid of the last little bit of my sanitizer. I'll go ahead and close my valve. Make sure your valve's closed. Grab this and I'll pour half my water in. That's about half. And then we're going to go ahead and do half my base malt. And for this I'm using organic 2-row, which is what I use every single time for the Waters Brewer study. I'll go ahead and do half my base malt. The goal here, you want to try to get it as evenly dispersed as possible. You don't want any dough balls in the mash, because that would hide some sugars and you won't get all the yield that you're expecting. about half that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stir it a little bit. I need a better mash spoon, mash paddle. If you want to send me a mash paddle, that'd be awesome. Alright, now go ahead and pour the rest of the water in. Not much. I'll go ahead and put the pounded caramel 20 in right now. Then I'll do the half pound of carapils. And then I'll do the remaining half of my base malt, my organic 2-row. I'll go ahead and put the rest of my little bit left of my water. Alright, put that in. Now I'm going to go ahead and stir it. Once again, you don't want dough balls. Get all that sugar you can from the malt. And so when you have dough balls, that means you're not getting to the inside of that dough ball, which means there's still sugar to be turned into fermentable sugars for the yeast to produce CO2 and alcohol, among other things. So no dough balls. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Throw my thermometer in here real quick. Get my foil. And the foil, I just usually cover the opening, not let any hot air out. And that, my friends, is the mash. This is how you do all grain brewing right here. It's such an easy step from all grain to extract. I highly recommend everyone takes a leap. I bet you it'll be 151 in there in mash time. 151 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I'm shooting for. I bet that's what I get. Let's see. Huh. Alright, let's check. Saying like 148 right now. Still resin, I think. Go ahead and put my sparge water in here, get ready, might as well. 3 gallons. Perfect. Very perfect, 3 gallons exactly. Alright, now let's check it one more time. $151, baby. What did I say? 151 rum. When I first started drinking back when I was like 16 or 17, I think the second, third, and fourth time I got drunk was off Bacardi 151. And I ended up throwing up pretty much every time and ended up blacking out every time. I was like, oh, this is how getting drunk is supposed to feel like, huh? Little did I know you don't have to black out and throw up every time. Alright, we're at 151 in here. Let me check one more time, make sure it's not raising too much. Yep, 151 still perfect. Alright, I'm gonna let that sit for 1 hour. At that point, I'm gonna come back. In 45 minutes, I'm gonna start heating up this water, my sparge water, to 178 to 182 degrees. And that at the 178, that'll kill the conversion in here. You want to have an hour-long conversion. from the starches to fermentable sugars. That's what's happening right now in there. And yeah, in an hour I'm going to open this valve slowly. All the wort is called beer before it's fermented. All the wort's going to then run out into my bucket that I just emptied over there, with a strainer in case any grain from the inside of here wants to spill out. You don't want any grain. From this point you want to have as clear beer as possible. I hear the clearer beer, the better the beer. I don't know exactly how true that is, but I've been making pretty good beer lately. I tried my raspberry hoppy pale ale for the first time last night with a couple buddies, or one buddy of mine and a roommate, and it was fucking bomb, dude. I used about 2.5 ounces of raspberry extract. I put it in 5 days after pitching the yeast, and then I've dry hopped it with 2 ounces of mosaic 6 days after pitching the yeast. And I tried it for the first time 5 days after being in bottles yesterday, and it's tasting super exceptional. I think it might be one of my best ones I've done. But I don't get a chance to make the beers I actually want to make because I'm stuck doing these Waters Brewer study experiments. So I'm actually relieved when my 30th batch is going to be done and I'll be able to release a book and blah blah blah. But yeah, that's the mash. I'll be tuning back in for the beginning of the boil and maybe the mash out, the sparge. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out. Or my sanitized bucket, for my, which is going to be used in my fermenter. Got my yeast over there. Boom, boom. I'm just about to add my first round of hops. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. Look at that. That's fucking cool. Half and half. Nice. I like that a lot. I am brewing the 17th experiment in the Waters Brewer study. Same recipe, which is 7.5 pounds organic 2-row, 1 pound caramel 20, half pound carapils, and the hops are 0.8 ounces of Nugget, 0.8 ounces of Chinook, 0.4 ounces of Cascade, and then another 0.4 ounces of Cascade at the end of boil. And it's basically an IPA recipe. Almost tastes more like a pale ale though. If I can go back, I definitely would change the recipe, but I started it and now I'm just pretty much sticking with it. I am drinking number fucking 9. It was in a short stubby bottle, and I've had some problems with those short stubby bottles where it doesn't cap all the way, so I get undercarbonated beer all the time. It's fucking annoying. In other news, I am brewing my first professional batch on July 27th. Kind of stoked for that. I'm brewing a cream ale for my company that I work for, Old Redwood Brewery. So I'm kind of stoked on that. I got 13 more experiments after this one until I'm done with all 30 of them. Hell yeah. I am in the process of writing a book. I got about 30 pages written. I got about 200 more. Slowly but surely, fucking getting a book written. I'm trying to develop an Excel sheet for water chemistry, like brewing water. And I'm trying to also develop like a cheat sheet that people can put on their fridge for, like, hey, for fucking stout, I want 2 grams of gypsum and 4 grams of calcium chloride and like 5 grams of fucking baking soda. And I'll just have that give to people with all the purchases of any order. And yeah, they can put it on the fridge and check it out and be like, oh, sweet. What's up, the beverage people? Yeah, it's just about done. Let's add some hops, shall we? I guess I started my boil a little bit too late. 2 minutes, don't really matter. First round of hop additions is 0.8 ounces of Nugget. Oh man. Whatever, just dunk it in there. It's a coffee filter. I use coffee filters to weigh out all my shit, such as hops and minerals and priming sugar. I bottled my experiment number 16 earlier today, and that one I did a fucking pre-fermentation. So I added the minerals right as I was during the whirlpool, or when the wort chiller was in there. That one was kind of interesting. I tried my raspberry dry hopped with mosaic pale ale for the first time yesterday. It's only been in bottles for about 1 week, not even that, 5 days, and it was fucking so good. Probably the best brew that I ever did. Best beer that I ever